We'll grab the first capsule, let's lift that off the ground. Okay, gently, make sure you don't get anything twisted out. Use the first capsule, hold the second, hold the red capsule. Okay, good, raise it.
The Great Plains Super Launch is the largest amateur near space launch in the country. At GPSL, amateurs from across the country meet to discuss the current art and science of near space flight. Amateur near space exploration more commonly goes by the name of amateur radio, high altitude ballooning, or RHAB. RHAB groups from Colorado, Nebraska, Oklahoma, Maine, Idaho, along with others, attended GPSL this year. This video is about the flight of one of those groups, NearSys. This mission carried a styrofoam glider and a bag of potato chips externally, while on board were cameras, a weather station, and Geiger counter.
thing. Won't do anything. Yeah. First open. Built the content somewhere in Nebraska to train potato chips. And then on this experiment.
On this mission, an on-set computing pendant G-logger recorded the amount of shaking that the Near spacecraft experienced. We can see the amount of shaking was greater early in the balloon flight, when the ascent rate was at its greatest. The ascent was much smoother once the balloon's ascent rate slowed down. The temperature of the battery compartment was 25 to 50 degrees lower than the electronics. Most likely this is because the batteries have less insulation and the radio was generating heat for the electronics. Since this flight took place while central Nebraska was under the influence of a high-pressure system, the winds were light. There is no jet stream at altitude. Photographs show some clouds and lots of haze. Relative humidity measurements show that most of this was low, occurring within the first 15,000 feet of the mission. The cosmic ray flux peaked at an altitude of 62,000 feet. Above this altitude, the Aware Electronics RM60 Geiger counter began detecting primary cosmic rays. A set of LEDs measured sky intensity in 3 spectral bands. The amount of infrared light decreased slightly with altitude, while green light peaked 45 minutes into the flight, or around 62,000 feet. The amount of ultraviolet radiation appears not to have changed much at all. Notice that the infrared LEDs are more sensitive to pointing direction than either the green or ultraviolet ones. There's more information at this year's Great Plains Super Launch and other super launches at www.superlaunch.org.